Welcome back to another episode of the IAmHipHop podcast in collaboration with Sadler's Wells and High Creativity. You're joined by the one and only Uncle J, Juju St. Paul, back again, and I am joined by the dance extraordinaire, Dickson. How are you doing today, my brother?
Yeah. Not too bad, my brother. Early in the morning, woke up by the baby. Situation's a bit different. But it is what it is, my guy. I'm ready.
Yeah, that's good to hear. So, just to
Yeah,
start off,
bro.
like everyone else, what was life like for you growing up? Because given from the bit of history that I've dug up on you, you've had quite an interesting past, man. So, do you mind giving us a little bit of an outline to that?
Growing up, well, I'm from Cameroon. Well, I was born in Cameroon. I
Mhm.
say I'm from East London, but I was born in Cameroon, grew up in East London. I mean, life was pretty cool. You know what I mean? I mean, when I say cool, back then there's certain things you can do that you can't do now. You know what I mean? We had youth clubs. You know, I don't know if there's
Mm,
any youth clubs nowadays. You know, you go and like play badminton or play with them football, you know, table
mm,
tennis, all those little things. But nowadays you don't get that. And then you had a mentor that would tell you certain things. How you get in a
right.
what crowd you just chill with, you know, and then once you get into a fight, it's not really an end game for you. You know what I mean? It's a fight, then you live to see another day. Nobody getting stabbed like that. You know what I mean?
Mm,
Not saying that it wasn't happening, but it wasn't as frequent as it is now. You know what I'm saying?
mm,
Um, but yeah, that's how I grew up. I think looking at things now, I didn't really appreciate those times as much as I do now because things have gone
mm,
a bit left in some places in London. Not everywhere is like it. Um, but yeah, I grew up in East, man. To Barking, Upton Park, Manor Park, Ilford,
mm.
Goodmace, Stratford, you know, and Hackney. Sometimes might as well pass down them ends, but that's it really. Nothing too ordinary. You know, nothing too
Right.
unordinary. You know what I'm saying?
I see
Yeah,
what you're saying.
that's
Yeah,
it, man.
definitely.
I just had a normal life, man. From a young black guy coming from the ends.
That's I was about to say that's very encouraging to hear because a lot of people who kind of get into this arts field, especially from areas like that, there's just so much stuff that's going around them. It's like almost as like something's telling them to pull themselves away and be something more. So it's actually quite interesting to hear that there is a balance to these stories, and it's like you said, the youth clubs. Yeah, there isn't many youth clubs. I mean, I remember going like to play scheme during summer holidays and things like that. Used to mingle with other kids and experience like loads of things. Go to like the beach and like you said, like loads of activities, games, keep things to keep you occupied and basically just keep you off the street and out of trouble.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, that's interesting. So where did your where did your love of dance come from? Because I've seen the little BBC show reel on your website, and
Oh,
I saw
cool.
the little conversation that you had with your dad, and how he said like when you're dancing and it's the expression of being happy, and funny enough, that's as they say, I'm not sure it's for everyone, but we all of melanin, we got some type of rhythm, we can all catch a beat kind of thing. So
Yeah.
I would say, like I said, that's a broad statement. Like I said, not everyone, but I like to think, to live in that stereotype. That's one of the good ones. So, how
Mm.
did you get into, dance, and then to grow into the artist of who you are now, performing, Face of Lucas Aid, working with H&M, doing works for the
This guy.
BBC, all of these big, yeah, yeah. Well, I like,
Man's
yeah,
done
man,
his research and that. Yeah.
yeah, I don't want to say that, but hey, I get called back for a reason, isn't it? So, but yeah,
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
let's
no,
get
all
into you,
that.
man, for real.
So how I started dancing age 18. I only started dancing because I like girls, and that's simple. And one girl that I liked was a dancer, and it was back when there were, I think there was a thing called what? It's a Stratford Circus. It's not the same
Mm.
Stratford Circus as it is now because it's now a college, but back then it was a theatre, and it was a
Oh,
thing called East London Dance that was based in Stratford Circus, and they had like this youth program that was going on, and one of the girls there was a dancer. I can't
mm.
mention her name, but I used to call her Cupcakes, and
Okay.
she's the one really, she's the one really that got me into dance, you know, because I really liked
Mm.
her, and like we just spoke, and man's followed her to Stratford, and she was doing a show, and I just went up to show off, like you know, back then you thought you were Usher and all them thing, And then bruh, serious. Man didn't know what they were doing. And then I think it was U Nation that were there, and Kate Prince is like, look, you got something, you know? Why don't you come to our classes in Pineapple? I was like, rah, me come to a dance class? No way, bro.
Mm.
And then I was like, is she gonna be there? They said, yeah. I said, I'm coming. So that was the first time, 18, taking the train by myself. And me and her actually, like she would sit opposite me. We won't talk the whole journey. We'll go all the way to Pineapple, get off at Covent Garden. That's that first time me going central London with someone
Mm.
that I didn't really know. No, you know what I'm saying? Usually you travel to central, it's usually carnival, you go with your parents, and that's it really. I'm from East,
Mm.
man. Mans don't really leave East. You know what I mean? You don't
Right.
really leave the ends. Because back then there was like them postcode wars. You don't go to
Yeah.
south. You're from east. You don't go to north. You know, you're from these ends, you just stay here. School, everything you
Mhm.
need is here. You know what I mean? Playing football for West Ham is in East. That's it. Nothing else. You ain't going nowhere else. And you should go
Mm.
on a coach. You know what I mean? With people, those are your people. You know what I mean? School
Mhm.
trips, you go, but go into central Pineapple, central London, a bit different, seeing all these different people. Yeah, that was the first time that really I got into dance, and I went to the class. I couldn't pick up the routines. I didn't want to look stupid in front of
Mm.
her, so I walked out. But then walking out was the best thing I've ever done, because I met a group of guys outside of Pineapple Studios doing a style called popping, and
Mm.
that is what made me feel like, wow, this is something serious. I really want to do this. And popping
Mm.
really, I would say, is the dance style that I'm probably known for in the whole world, because of those guys. It started in front of Pineapple Studios, not in the studio, outside of the studios with this guy.
Outside
And
the
I joined
studio.
them later on. Yeah, and I joined them later
Mm.
on, joined the crew called IP. So yeah, that's how my journey really started. And around that time as well, I was an IT technician. I just stopped playing football because I hurt my leg, and I wasn't really that good. They released me, and then yeah, I started looking at different avenues. My dad was like, "You gotta get a proper job, bro."
Mhm.
So, and then I was also getting myself into music, into like back then it was like it was Crazy Teach and then man's Channel U times. Um, so I was getting myself
Yeah.
into a lot of
Good old
those
days.
those energies. Those energies. It was a bit grime at that time in East was serious. Um, those energies not that it was negative, but it was really, if you do something, things can go left for you quickly. You know what I'm saying? So I'm kind
Mm.
of lucky that like dance took me out of that sort of feeling. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
straight after that, like 3 months or 4 months after I started dancing, my man got banged up for doing some madness. You know what I'm saying?
Oh wow.
So a lot of things like that. So I'm thinking, raw. If I didn't really start dancing, who knows, man? I'll probably be in them situations. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I don't even know, man. Like I'm just following the divine energy. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And to be honest with you, from the way seeing the way that you move, there's definitely some energies and divineness that you tapping into, bro. Because yeah, man, like the way I'm seeing you move, the way I'm seeing you all popping and just reaching, and then also looking at the Sadler's Wells header, like the little promo clip that they've got up there at the moment, just like it's just so captivating. Like it's absolutely insane. And the thing is like right. So I wanted let me get my words straight for this because I don't want to give away too much because the way that it's worded on the website, there's like a very big mystique behind this actual piece because the inspiration you said came from when you went back home, wasn't it? And then
Yeah.
something happened, a mixture of family, like you said, I think it's like madness, and this is what birthed this actual piece. So as much as you're
Mm.
willing or you can say about it without giving away too much, or if you're happy to discuss it, what was the events that led up to the creation of this piece?
Bro, I think, to be honest, I think at that time, this was 2000, and I think when I went to Cameroon, it was 2016. Um,
Mm,
I mean, to be honest, I got invited there to like judge a competition and stuff, and then I went with my mom and stuff, and yeah, and then going to the village where my parents were from. There was loads of things that mans don't know. I'm from East, bro. When I say I'm from East, I'm like true and true London, brother. You know what I mean? You know.
mm,
And then when you go certain things, like even stopping a taxi. If you say something, man's hear your accent, they're charging you double, or triple.
Mm,
Those little
mm,
things. You tend not to say too much because you ain't got the accent like them, man. Them, they speak pidgin English. You speak your English. I'm like, where's that from?
mm,
And the way you look different anyway. But anyway,
mm.
just connecting to the animistic world down there was something that was always something inside of me. Like I always felt some things. This is, not to be a bit like I'm special or anything, but I always used to feel certain things, and
Right.
sometimes people say, "This brother is a bit different." You know what I mean?
Mm,
Man's like we believe, like trees have feelings and houses
mm.
have, everything has a life force.
An
Um,
energy. Yeah.
yeah, everything has an energy, and and I always used to believe, really used to believe in that. But living in this end, sometimes it takes you out of that because you got to pay rent, my friend. You're thinking about life force. You know what I'm saying? You got to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
think about life force and pay the bills, bro. Yeah, that's what
Those
you
at
got
the
to
same
do.
time. Yeah.
Yeah. So sometimes you lose those sort of things that are really innate inside, and I think going back, that sort of connection came back. But also, I kind of sort of found myself in a way where I knew who I was. Even my name, I didn't really know what that meant. You know,
Mm,
not Dickson, but so my middle name Eno. It means truth,
mm.
and the way they say is
Okay.
Enowate, which means truth stands, which is the name of the piece. Um, so it's a lot of things that I connected to back then that gave me a strong standing of who I was inside.
Mm,
And so when I came back, I was so different. Like, even the way I was moving was so different. Like with
mm.
such a confidence where you don't have to say too much. Wagwan. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, because before, man, yeah, sometimes you move a certain way because you want to show certain mans that I can do this.
I'm about
But
this.
once
Yeah.
you, yeah, and when you know yourself, you don't even have to do that, man. There's a certain presence because you know Wagwan, and I think
Mm,
some of us, people, you say melanated people, some of us people have those things, but it's been beaten out of us or
yeah.
taken out of us or spoken out of us
Mm,
by certain other
mm,
things going on. Sometimes your lifestyle, sometimes is your upbringing, and I'm like really lucky that I am. When I say I'm from Africa, really lucky, I mean like I have connections, I have lineage back then
mm-hmm.
to where my ancestors are from, and certain
Yeah.
people like their ancestors were brought here, they don't really have that connection. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, so that is something that I felt really connected to and felt really proud of. And so that gave me a lot of those conversations started to come up, and I was questioning, bruh, my, I always represent East London, and that of course I am from East London, but I'm also
Mm-hmm.
African. So that balance of coming from these two worlds to make that one
Yeah.
person. And it's what this piece is about, really, and about a journey of someone that's from two different places and really accepting what that is, really. In yeah, in a nutshell, I think that's it, man. Of course, there's loads of different things. You still got to do a show.
Yeah.
You still got to give
Mm,
us some drama. You still got to give us some heart and life, joy, all those things. So yeah,
mm.
I think, not to say too much, I think that's what this piece is really about. So I'm really excited to share with everyone, and especially people that are from our ends. You know what I mean? That
Yeah.
sometimes feel down about certain things, don't know who they are, and they want to connect, but they don't really know how to go about it. Not saying I'm going to have the answers, but I'm saying, but this is how I went through it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And maybe you can learn something from it.
Yeah.
You
So
know
you're
what I
leading
mean?
by example. Yeah. So, because the funny thing
Trying
is
my
that being said, yeah, no, but this is it. But like, look at how you just explained, just from the fact of like getting out of your area, somewhere that a lot of people, as we like you said, the postcode wars, it's the same here in West. You can't go to even certain other numbered postcodes in your area if you're from other places. So a lot of
mm,
people don't actually leave their area at all. I've been kind of always fortunate because I've also had a bit of an adventurous spirit. So I've even been able to
mm,
go to places outside of London, which is, first of all, people don't even do, and they've lived in England their whole life. There's certain places they don't move or go. But the biggest one for me was like when my cousin took me to, which I've mentioned a few times on the pod, so anyone who listens knows the story already, but just going to Trinidad, like for the first time as an adult. Like I've gone to Grenada as when I was younger as a kid with my family, but going to actual Trinidad during Juve season and actually going to a place where the police look like you, the people look like you, no one's second guessing you, but then they still call it a third world country because it's not as economically built, or there isn't as much bricks and mortar as this country says has. But the funny thing is just the energy that comes from there. Yes, there's a lot of negativity wherever you go and whatever countries you are in the world, but it's like imagine going into a bank and you're hearing soca. Imagine walking people in suits and talking about what fets they're going to. Are you going to Marshall Wednesday or is it Marshall Tuesdays or Monday, sorry, or Kes Tuesdays, or and you're just feeling a whole vibe on an island. Then you're literally going out and partying, and there's little to no violence, and it's literally just a whole bunch of brothers and sisters, and obviously other people from around the world, but we're just jumping around and having an absolute whale of a time. And it's exactly like you said. It's like I came back here and I started to really realize, there's something not right here. And there's a ways that people have like do things because of way societies are built and countries are built. We get an understanding nuances and differences, what makes us unique. But it's just like knowing, like, what, I've got something here. Like you said, there's something inside, and you're just like, I finally managed to connect to a part of it. And that's why I try to spread the love of soca by, even when I DJ now, I've put in some soca into my mixes, and just seeing reactions, like people in Bournemouth thinking it's Afro beats I'm playing, and it's just like, but they're still jumping up and having a good time. So it just goes to show, man. And it's like you said, like, we don't have the answers, but it's conversations like this, it's discussions like this, it's art pieces like you put together, which does start the actual conversation. And if you want to start having it, it's just about letting people know there's a community over here where you can have this discussion, no judgments and prejudice. So yeah, man, like I'm looking forward to it, to say the least.
Yeah,
So
me too, my guy. Me
so
too.
yeah,
But you're right, man. You're right. These conversations needs to be happening. But like I said, and it's not to disregard that, we're from these ends. It's not like these ends is bad, or London or England is bad. It's just we are from this place, but we're also from other places, and it's to accept, those two worlds and know that they can coexist within one person. You know what I mean? And certain accents, like I remember back when I was in school, a lot of people didn't like Africans. The accent was like, "Yo, his brother." Now
yeah,
everyone's
yeah,
jumping on Afro beats. You speak. I even seen people speaking African. I'm like, "Hey, bro, where you from?" You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah,
so this is what I'm saying. Like things have moved on so much, and it's good that
mm,
these conversations happen. And I thought this conversation can only happen really if heads accept themselves. You know what I'm saying? And I think why is Afrobeat so big right now? It's also because these artists accepted themselves and pushed themselves rather than try and do other things that's not them. You see what I'm saying? Why is grime so big? Because them and them in East London tried to do what they did. They accepted themselves, their area, their environment. They responded to what's happening with them. Now it's a global thing. You know what I mean? So it's just those sort of things. Once you accept yourself, man, you could do so much. And I think this work is really about that journey of accepting myself. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, man. And I'm, like I said, like once again, just looking forward to seeing it live. So it's, what is it, October 14th, 15th, isn't it? Oh, have I got that
Yeah,
wrong?
October 14th, 15th, Big Sadler's Wells, Angel. If you don't know how to get there, just check on the map thing, Google the thing,
TFL
Sadler's
Journey
Wells.
player, man.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's it, my guy.
So, but let me ask you just to kind of round it off, because I know you got to go back to, because you got a newborn and everything. So,
Yeah.
how are you honestly feeling about it? Like true to you, like as an artist, because I know one thing with us as artists, like, because we do, there's butterflies do get involved. I don't care what anyone says. Like I've heard some of the biggest artists that they say is, if you don't ever have that, then there's something wrong with you, like completely. But
Yeah.
what's your headspace in now, man? Just describe your feelings and emotions.
Okay. To be honest, I just need to get fit right now because boy, it's been a I'll just be honest with you. It's been the last time I did this piece was in January of this year. And what are we
Right,
now? We are in September. And
September.
I've done a lot of different things after, yeah, I've done a lot of things before that, it wasn't really. And this piece is physically hard, so I just need to get fit. Um, in terms of butterflies and all that stuff, I don't really get them. The reason why I say that is because and I stand, bro. I stand with a whole village behind me. My voice is a whole village of people. So I'm standing with a bang of people, a gang of people, a whole village. So I make one arm movement, it's a whole bag of people making the arm movement. So I'm never shook or scared of anything or nervous about doing what I got to do. You know what I'm saying?
All
So,
right.
yeah, so that's my mindset all the time. So when I'm doing something, it comes as a full effect. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, nah, you just changed my mental on
I'm
that,
gonna
bro.
really
Actually,
say
like,
1 minute, 1 minute,
yeah,
1 minute,
yeah,
one
yeah.
minute. Baby calls, you know what I'm saying?
Nah, that's cool, man. Don't worry, I'm not gonna hold you
Yeah.
up for too much longer, bro.
No, no,
But
no, it's so
I'll
good.
just
Listen, I had to do that. But it's so good, man.
no,
Like
no,
I
no,
said
no.
to you, like I come with it's like, man,
A
when you stand
village.
with your people, your whole village behind you, you ain't gonna be
Yeah,
shook about
yeah, yeah.
anything. You really
True.
want to open your heart for people to see your people through you,
Mm,
see you,
mm,
you know what I mean, and see what is all the shadows, you know. So I never get nervous. And also maybe I put my hand up, maybe it's also when I was playing football, you know, you get nervous before a game, you make a mistake, your team lose, it's
mm,
a serious one. Maybe that's also affected me from that time from being young. But I think when I started performing and I started connecting deeper to myself, and I just always realized that, man, I come from a line of people, a tree of people. So when I stand, they all stand with me. Can't get nervous, my
mm.
friend. I just gotta set up my mindset, get fit so that I can express myself to the fullest capacity and no regrets. You know what I mean?
Bro, that's why I love doing these things, bro. You've literally made me just reconsider something. You're actually right. It's like now I think about the village that I've got, even like the people like with the IAmHipHop gang, like even with the villages outside of this space, even like working closely with Sadlers, getting to meet people like yourself. Like you're right, like with myself, like it's not like I'll get nervous to have like a conversation like this or do these bits and bobs, but I guess it's like I've always had that butterflies, which then turns to adrenaline, if that makes sense. It's
Mm,
like more in a sense
yeah,
of you have to get past that point of I'm gonna mess up, and I think that's the thing that I'm always like, well, you're gonna have to do, and even if you do, it's not gonna be catastrophic. So, but I like your mentality and the way you're looking at it is actually, if I wave my hand, a whole bunch of people waving their hands with me. That is some powerful, powerful, powerful stuff, man. Like for real, bro. Thank you for imparting that piece of knowledge. And also, as you go for
no
for other
problem, man.
artists and everyone else listening doing their thing, just if your village is strong, you've got a whole bunch of people there to support you. Just take from their energy. They're giving it to you freely, man. They're saying, "Go and do your thing." Was it? Be great, young black man. Be great, effectively.
No, thank you, man. Thank you. Like it is what it is, man. And I think it's not for everyone. These sort of things, you know what I mean? It's not everybody can
True.
connect to it, but if you can connect to it, just listen, man. Look inside and listen. All the answers. I know there's some cliche things out there, but all the answers you seek is within you. You know, it's as mad as it
Yeah.
sounds. Man's had to go to Africa, to Cameroon to really know myself in a deep way.
Mm.
What? I'm from East London, bro. Why do I need to travel? You know what I'm saying? So
Well,
those
but
sort
now
of
you know
things.
why you have to travel. And look where your dancers
Yeah,
is taking you traveling as well. You've got to see a lot more of the world, a lot more different people, a load of groups, and knowing that there's more to life than what's just within your, 10-mile radius, effectively.
yeah, it's true. It's true. Definitely, my brother. Thank you, man.
So, man, thank you. So we'll wrap this up. So this has been another quick, well, a shorter episode than usual. We'll hopefully catch up again soon, man, and have a proper discussion. And that I'm planning some stuff going forward. We're going to change the podcast a little bit, but I want to start bringing back artists who we've spoken to before. Maybe do some group discussions and just seeing what happens. Man, I don't know. We're playing with stuff, especially for the year of 2023. I think it's time we step up our game as well. But otherwise, October 14th, 15th. Go check out Dickson's piece at Sadler's Wells. Angel, like he said, if you don't know how to find it, Google it. If you can't Google it, TFL, Journey Planet, there's ways to find this place. I mean, come on now.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you once again for your time. Also, congratulations on your baby as well. Just sending love to
Thank
you
you.
and your family. And I
14
hope,
days old, man.
bruh,
He's
I didn't even know it was
crazy.
newborn
Yeah.
like that. Oh,
Bruh, it's
Godspeed, bro.
new.
Godspeed, bro.
It's different. Sleep is different, my guy. But yeah, no, thank you so much. Listen, bro, Jay, thank you so much for this opportunity. Thank you for having me on this thing, man's. I'm here supporting all the time. If you need anything, let me know. And for the people listening,
Same.
listen, tell your mom, your cousins, your grandma, your aunties, your sister, or whoever. Come to the event, come to the show. Listen, it's not just a performance. It's going to be an experience. And you know what I'm saying? It's going to be loads of things happening. So, yeah, come through, enjoy yourself. And I'm always going to be around if you need to ask any questions. I'm not one of the people that hide until everybody's gone. Straight after the show, I come out, say hello to everybody, see the people. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Thank you, my guy.
No, thank you. I'm truly humbled by this one today. And also, if you need a DJ, you just let me know. All right, peace.
I hold you to that.
All right.